Hey, it's Kathy. Welcome. Welcome. We're going to be painting Ireland castles on cute ornaments. I'm going to show you what the final is going to look like. It's not going to be this castle, but this is what I'm going for. Aren't these cute? And then I have this cute little moss on top. And then on the back, I put what it is. Whoops. I'm just turning off my headphones, which are clearly over loud. So on the back, I like to write what castle it is and maybe a little fun fact. And these are like super cute, great for St. Patrick's Day or celebrating Ireland anytime, because Ireland is absolutely stunning and I have to go back. I went to Ireland in 2022, and ever since then, I really want to go back. So I have some birchwood slices here. You can see I've sort of filed these off a little bit to get rid of the papery bark part. But you know, sometimes that can be nice to keep on while you're painting, and then you can remove it later. And then you can have a nice clean edge and you can sand it a little bit. That's what I like to do. Some of these I have that have holes in them, and that's convenient because then you can put your string through it. But sometimes you don't want to have a hole. So I'm going to show you a version with no hole. Give me one sec. So here's one of the ornaments that I have that actually I did have a hole in it, but I covered the hole up with this moss. And I think it looks great. So this one is Kilkenny Castle. And today we're going to do Trim Castle. And I did a little sketch of it here. Just a little sketch. Wrote a couple fun facts. So we can get right to business. So I'm going to put these away and let's start painting. Okay, before we do anything else, I want to show you this moss. I purchased this moss to add to my ornaments, and the stuff is great. It's all natural moss, and it's super, super cute. I just glued it to the top of my ornaments, and that's what I'm going to do with the ornament that I make today. Today I'm just going to paint. And we'll just paint. We'll do the painting part. I'm not going to do the beading and the stringing and all that stuff today. I'm not going to do the moss today, but I did want to show you that. And when this stream is over, I will definitely show you sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once here and I can't see what I'm doing. When the stream is over, I'm gonna put everything in the description. That's what I'm trying to say. I will put everything in the description. So give me one sec. Trying to see. I want to see the chat real quick, just in case. Oh, actually, you know what I should do? I'm going to show you the picture I'm working from. Hold on. Let's go. Hold on. I just gotta unplug my iPad over here. Hey, what do you think of the music? You like it? Got a good Epidemic Sound playlist here. Okay, here is the picture. So you want a picture of something and you don't want to have to buy something. Go to Wikimedia Commons and look up what you're looking for and look at this beautiful picture I found that some fabulous person took and offered it up on Wikimedia Commons. This is the beautiful castle we're going to paint today. So this stream should probably be about an hour. I don't think it'll be any more than that. We're just going to paint the ornaments. We're not going to be doing the beading and the stringing and all that stuff. Just plugging my iPad back in. I'm also just going to look at the chat for a quick second. Oh, I'm just struggling. I have a lot of I got 2 iPhones and an iPad. How's that? Okay. Let's see here. What do we got? What do we got? Anyone here? I just don't want to miss if you guys are chatting with me, you know? I hate to do that. I hate to miss a chat. Anyone in the chat? No. Okay. Great. I mean, not great. Like, feel free to chat. But I'm going to get going here on this so we can start. Let me just say hello. Come on. Drat. Okay, let's just... All right, if anybody chats, I'm going to keep looking up at my phone, but I'm going to need my iPad for my reference. So I'm just going to keep my iPad up for reference. And I'm going to hope that I don't miss anybody. Okay? But I will keep looking up to see if anybody chats. Okay? There we go. Nobody's chatted. Okay, cool. Yeah, so welcome. So for my palette, I'm using just a piece of wax paper. And it's easy because I can just have my ornaments on top of it. I love doing that. I usually have my workspace covered with paper, you know, or wax paper or butcher paper, whatever. And I'll just use that as my palette because it's just easier. Just gonna grab my tools, and here's my little sketch that I did. So I have like one of these little rubber things, little rubber tip, and then I have some little brushes, and then I have another one. This is good for angles. And yeah, I may not even use all these, but just kind of like to have them when I'm doing tiny little painting like this. I'm gonna get you down here so you can see what I'm doing. So this castle is the one that was featured in Braveheart movie, kind of a claim to fame of it. I like to start with a pre-painted little slice. I love to paint on maple slices. This is a birch slice. I like these two. So let's just get in here. Just thought it would be fun to share this with you guys. I have a couple different colors of gray. I have a cool gray and a warm gray, and you just mix them all up. And usually when I look at these pictures when I see these pictures of these castles, they're like usually gray sky. Like it's more often than not, it's like a gray sky, which is kind of funny, but very fitting, right? So I'm gonna use a cooler gray for the sky, and I'm just being messy, right? Who cares? Who cares? I'm just going in. I'm just gonna... Maybe that's better. You know what? Let me put this little guy on a little stand. That might be even better. I'm just gonna have to watch my paintbrush so I don't bang with my paintbrush. I think I'm doing both, I think I'm doing both vertical and horizontal streams here. So that's what I'm trying today. One thing, if you have a hole like this, you want to make sure that it's going to stay balanced. So you don't want to paint it like that or like, you know, so that your castle is not going to be, or that your horizon line is not going to be correct. So just pay attention to that. I've made that mistake actually with this one. With this one, if you see the back, the hole is like this and my text is slanted, which, you know, has its own charm, but if I knew I was doing that, I wouldn't have done it. Or if I knew that was going to happen, I wouldn't have done it. So just, you know, just pay attention to that. Just gonna grab a little bit of this black gesso. Sometimes I feel like I like it better if I have to use black. I usually like to make my own black, but if I really need to use a black, I really like this gesso. It's Utrecht brands from Blick. I'm going to show you the jar in a second. Unfortunately, my jar is kind of like the threading is giving me a hard time to try and shut the jar, so not having luck shutting my jar, but I will show you. That's it. Artist Black Gesso. Works really good. The reason I like it over paint sometimes, because I also have this one, Golden Carbon Black, but I think I like the body and the lack of a pigment, like how it's less of a pigment bomb than regular black paint. So it just makes it a little bit easier to mix, because sometimes black paint, if you're using black paint to make something, make a color, add black to it, right, to make it darker, to make it more gray and darker and like less colorful. Sometimes black will just like, if you use black paint, it just sort of like is like a pigment bomb, and you just wish for that just little bit of being able to temper a little bit easier, to temper your the pigment load a little bit. And using black gesso really does help with that. It's just not, it's not as pigmented, and it really does a good job at that. Oh, and this is medium, so I'm just adding some medium because I don't want to like water my paint down. I want to make it more viscous, and I can lighten the pigment a little bit, but I'm not looking to water my paint down necessarily. Let's get rid of that song. I don't really want any, I am not looking for vocals right now. So here's a version. Here's something like what we're going to do today, but I'm doing a different castle. I'm doing the castle that was featured in the movie Braveheart right now. So that's the claim to fame of this castle. Or one claim to fame, I should say. I'm sure there's lots of claims to fame of this castle. And don't worry that my brush is not super tiny. It's not a big deal. You'll see. You will see later down the road. Not a big deal. So here's another little tip. You get a little spray bottle like this. It's a good way to just sort of keep your can keep your paints, if you're using acrylic like me, or a water-based paint. Kind of like how people do with watercolor paint. It's a nice way to keep your palette moist, and it's super easy. Easy, quick. Thanks for stopping by. Here's the final. And when all is said and done, it's going to look similar. The finishes will look similar to this, with the moss on the top. Have an awesome day. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.